we can't tell a mom when it's time to stop grieving. It shifts. The intensity of the pain will shift in time, over time, with supports and with opportunities to unburden and to mourn and to cry and to honor the connection that that person had with the deceased. But I don't think it's for none of us to say, you should be over your grieving by now. There's no timetable or no timeline for grieving. It's, because grief is about an attachment of the heart, and even though that person is gone, that attachment is still there.
I know at times I'm very angry where I just want to, everything just frustrates me.
Then you just want to give up and just forget everything, everyone, goodbye.
Well, I'm lucky these 2 weeks because I have a weight train. I can punch the bag.
Yeah, me too.
So it releases some anger. But yeah, anger is a big thing in with this, because either anger towards yourself, like you said, you blame yourself or whatever, but sometimes even towards other people. Yeah.
Some youths take it to they feel that they should put everything on their shoulders and go out there and revenge that person's life by going out there and doing something wrong. Some youths take it that way and feel that's the right way to do it, but it's really not.
Well, when it comes to the community and as all those that you mentioned, I think they think it's just our issue, and it's not theirs. But I am here to say it's a global situation, and we all are in this. And when it comes to grief and loss, if you tell me your story, I'll get emotional. And if I tell you my story, you'll get emotional. And this is how I see it. But I think sometimes because it doesn't hit home, no one understands the impact it has on families. And I think it's time we start recognizing that the grief is not only about the family who lost that loved one, and especially when it comes to violence, but it should be everybody's issue of when our community has lost someone to violence. And in that way, I think we should all get together and to work together to see to provide all the services that the Black community needs to help each other. Because it's really, I would say that right about now, our community is suffering with the epidemic of violence. And it has taken over. Violence is the V word now. When violence used to be victory, when V used to be victory, now the V is for violence. And because of all these loss that we have and the grief that we're going, and we forget how to love. We forget how to love. Once upon a time it was, I used to hear peace and love. But now we're not hearing peace and love. All we're hearing is violence. And it really, we need to really wake up. And in our Black community, we need more support in that area. We need a lot more support.
Find somebody to talk to. Find somebody that you can share it with, like a confidant of some kind, like a close friend and another family member. It can be even a distant family member, even if it's on the phone and stuff, right? But just find some way to say it and for it to come out. And they don't have to comfort you or look after you. Just sit beside me and hear me go on. Find some way to sing it out, to dance it out. I've done all of those things to, whatever it takes, but just find some way to get it out of your body and not have it just sit in there, because I really believe that, that's where all the stress, the heart attacks, the, cancers, the whatever, is just all that tight knot where you're holding it in. Find some way to vomit it out. And really it helps if you have a person that's there. And if you have the courage and if you can make that move, try going to an outside group. You feel like, my whole thing is that it's so alien to me and so strange that I would be going among strangers to find solace for something that feels really, really personal. But it worked. It really worked. Because you listen, but you can also give back. And it's just, there's no question. Nobody's questioning or saying, well, at this time, you should be doing this. People just let you be in it. The group thing is okay. Sometimes people who facilitate them or whatever.
The book that I had mentioned earlier of Water and Spirit by Aladoma Some, hope I'm saying his name right. But the book is called Of Water and Spirit anyhow, and there's a piece where he talks about his grandfather's funeral, and it's really an opportunity for us who've lost the ways of our ancestors, the traditional ways of dealing with loss and grief, and how that was celebrated and how that was experienced. I think we can, seek out. I think it's important for us to seek out the teachings of those traditions that we had prior to, the Europeans coming to Africa and kind of taking that away from us, because it's there, but we have to go. We have to seek it out and make it a conscious effort to find out what those traditions and values and what those rituals and celebrations and around death and dying and grieving and mourning, because in the book there's a whole chapter or 2 chapters on that is quite enlightening. I think it's an individual quest, and it has to come from a kind of a rumbling in one's belly or in one's heart to re-establish that connection. And for that person, I say seek it out and experience it and live it fully. And for someone else for whom that's not an interest and that's not a need, that's okay too. I don't think we all have to, do the back to Africa thing and all go back and do, I don't know, rites of passage or learn the teachings, or just because we're Black and we need to have that. I think it has to come from a genuine wish within one's heart or within one's gut, belly, to, a genuine longing for something that was lost, a genuine longing to reconnect to that piece that was lost, and then I say seek it out. But if one doesn't have it, you can't manufacture that, you can't, it has to be authentic. So I think it's really encouraging to see young women speaking out and talking about issues that are really difficult for even adults to share. And so I want to give them props for their courage. And one of the things that I know is that in sharing our stories and being able to speak about the things that pains us, that's like the road to healing and moving forward well. So for whoever's listening to this video or watching this video, I trust that something that was shared by all the stories of all the people who you've heard on this tape, that you take it and use it in your work and use it to support the healing of our community. And so I just want to thank Amanda and Letitia and Jarisha and Ayana for their courage in coming forward on such short notice. Like, I just called these girls today and I said, can you come? And they came, so I'm quite pleased, because they're not all of them. Well, I don't know. I think you're more confident, but I know Yanni is very shy, and I hear Jarisha is shy, and Amanda was like, I don't know if I want to do this, and you all did it. So I want to say thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
You're not alone.
What's
You're
your
not
name?
alone.
CJ.
You're welcome, CJ.
Yes, thanks a lot.